Hello friends, welcome back to another video. If you're new and not subscribed, I'm Kayla Bame, and you should really think about subscribing to my channel because the bestest things in the world happen when you do that. So, subscribe. For today's video, we are going to be doing another Dollar Tree review, okay? The Crafter's Square. Listen, I'm not a Dollar Tree expert like the KB Creations, but there's like a crafter corner, Crafter's Square. And they started carrying like paint and yarn and fabric, and I think there's some Dollar Trees that are like carrying sheets of vinyl now, but I'm not that kind of crafter. I am an artist, but I do enjoy drawing and paints and all that jazz, so I was more drawn to the paint section, and I have already done a review on the Dollar Tree paint, so go check that one out. But they did sell another something that caught my little eye, and that was the oil pastels. But I have done stuff with oil pastels like a very long time ago. I don't really know what I'm doing with oil pastels, but I do know quality, okay? So I'm going to be trying to draw a flower with oil pastels, the Dollar Tree Crafter's Square oil pastels, to see how good they are. I think this is a little bit different than the acrylic paints because oil pastels tend to be kind of pricey, especially for like high quality oil pastels. And this was a smaller pack, so I think $1, you might be crafting on a budget, okay? But let's see what these oil pastels are all about.
Okay, party people, these are the oil pastels that I found at the Dollar Tree. It is by Crafter's Square, the true Crafter's Square brand, and it comes with 12 different premium colors. And here's a close-up of all these premium colors. I thought it was cool that they labeled all the colors on the side. That was pretty cool, people. And then I just took out every one of the colors and did a little sample size of the color just so I could get an idea of what the color looked like, because you know sometimes when crayons are in the box, it may look like one color, but then when you draw on it, it doesn't really look like the same color. So these are my little color swatches for you. Is it a swatch? You swatch a color. Is that right, or did I just make up a word? So after I tried out my colors, I decided to go with these three. I think it was like brown, burnt sienna, and orange or something like that. I'm pretty sure those are the colors that I picked. And then I took the gray pastel to sketch out the flower that I was doing. I didn't use a reference picture. I learned how to do this flower in like the 4th grade, okay? It's very simple, and I still remember how to draw it, so I was using the gray pastel to draw my 4th grade flower. Also, I don't use oil pastels very often. Once upon a time, I tried learning how to use oil pastels, but I didn't go very far with them, so I am 90% sure this wasn't the correct paper, and my technique may not have been the best, but I know premium products, so this is my review, okay? So after I sketched out this beautiful flower, I then started to take some color to it, and really, I did not see a difference between these pastels and a box of Crayola crayons. I also want to say that the times in the past that I have used oil pastels, they were slightly greasy, obviously because they're called oil pastels. But these ones from the Dollar Tree weren't very greasy or oily at all, which I'm not sure is something that makes a great oil pastel, but I'm assuming it would, since they're called oil pastels. And I was trying to go for like a gradient effect here, where the color went from like this light yellow to orange to like a darker brown. And I was struggling really bad to blend the colors out. It ended up just being kind of a harsh line. I tried mixing the colors more, I tried rubbing it in with my finger, and nothing really seemed to work. And I don't want to 100% blame that on the oil pastels because, like I said, I wasn't using the right paper, which will definitely play into how they're blending and how it comes off onto the paper. This is sketchbook paper. It wasn't even a mixed media paper. So I know there is specific paper used for oil pastels. So I think the reason why it wasn't blending was a mixture between the paper and them not being super oily and greasy. The color variety also wasn't the best. Like, they had decent colors, but some of the colors were just kind of weird, I guess. For example, this green was the only dark green that was in the pack, and it kind of had a blue undertone to it, so there wasn't a solid dark green color in there that I could use, which I thought was weird. And you guys know me, my creative mind is always thinking. I got bored with the flower halfway through filming this video, so I decided I wasn't just gonna do a flower, and I was just gonna start doing some random sketches with these oil pastels to try out different colors. And yeah, this is what happened. I started drawing a little stream because why not? And this is where the lack of color variety kind of made it difficult to do a lot, because I wanted to draw a little river slash stream, and you know, water has different tones of blue, and I only had one blue in there, so I was using black that I went over more with blue to try and make it look like darker areas in the water, because I had to work with what I was given, and this was all I was given. But overall, with these pastels, I feel like even if they did have a whole bunch of different colors by Crafter Square, blending the different colors just would not work. It was so hard to blend these colors, and that could just be inexperience of me not knowing how to use oil pastels properly, but like I said, they weren't extremely oily, which oil pastels should be, right? If that's wrong, someone feel free to correct me, but I feel like when they're oily, it makes it easier to blend, and these were so difficult to blend. And then for some reason, I was in the mood for drawing a little sunset, so that's what I did with all these pretty reds and oranges and pinks and yellows, just to really test how I could blend them. Spoiler alert, I couldn't really blend them. Honestly, I think it's cool that Crafter Square is trying to make these products like oil pastels in acrylic paint that's affordable for people to buy, but oh man, these oil pastels, I did not even notice a difference between these pastels and a pack of crayons, which I guess in a way an oil pastel is a type of crayon, but I know for sure there is supposed to be a difference between the wax in an oil pastel compared to a Crayola box, and there really wasn't. They weren't oily, they were super difficult to blend, and if you handed me these oil pastels and asked me what it was I was drawing with, I would not say an oil pastel. I would 100% tell you I was drawing with a box of crayons. So here are my beautiful creations, the flower, the stream, and the sunset. It honestly looks like I was drawing with a box of crayons. I am not impressed with these oil pastels at all. I would not buy them again. I would not recommend that you buy them. Just get a box of crayons instead. that is my final review.
Well, that's it for today's video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and leave in the comments down below what you thought of my oil pastel Crafter's Square Dollar Tree product review. I thought it was great. But I'll see you guys back here next time. Peace.